Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Book Geek, and I'm just here to talk about my thoughts after watching the season 8 premiere of Game of Thrones last night. So these are my afterthoughts. So I just want to say that this episode, it kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. It was like a foundation episode. And I felt all sorts of emotions watching this episode. We had a little bit of everything. So we had a little bit of anger. We had a little bit of sadness. Well, I did. I had a little bit of anger. I had a little bit of sadness. And some happiness. And I also laughed quite a bit. There were a lot of funny moments throughout this episode. But the first thing I want to talk about was some of the callbacks. When the show first starts and we see the young boy that's trying to get a glimpse at the king and the queen and the soldiers that are marching into Winterfell, he eventually ends up climbing a tree so that he can get a better look at the king and the queen and the soldiers marching in. And that kind of took me back to season 1 with Arya, when the Baratheons and the King's Landing soldiers were marching into Winterfell. And also the fact that the young boy was climbing a tree reminded me of Bran, because we all know that he loved to climb before he got injured. So that was a nice little callback. There was a lot of little callbacks to earlier seasons. Also, the lineup. When Jon and Dany walked through the gates of Winterfell, there were like a bunch of people lined up waiting to greet them. And that also took me back to season 1, to when Robert and Cersei walked through the gates and all the Starks, all of Ned's family, were standing there lined up ready to greet them. The cave/waterfall that Dany and Jon arrived at after they took their flight on the dragons, that reminded me of Jon and Ygritte. So that was a nice little callback to Ygritte. And man, the reunions, oh my god, there were so many reunions in this episode. So we had Bran and Jon, Jon and Arya, Arya in the mountain, Arya and Gendry, Yara and Theon, Sansa and Tyrion, Sam and Jorah, and Bran and Jaime. Let me know if I missed any, but that was a whole lot. A whole lot. And when Sam asked Bran, "What are you doing out here?" and he said, "I'm waiting for an old friend," I believe he was referring to Jaime. Because, did he stay out there all night waiting for Jaime? Because he knew he was on his way, and he gave him they locked eyes, and it just seems as though that was the person he was waiting on. What else? The comedic relief of this episode was refreshing, but I feel like they're just giving that to us, before they build us up just to break us down. There were a lot of funny moments in this episode. So Jon riding the dragon, that whole scene with him saying, "What if he doesn't want me to ride him?" And that whole thing was hilarious to me. And him riding the dragon was so funny. Seeing him get the hang of it, and it was hilarious. The part with, oh God, what is Jon's friend's name? His friend from Night Watch. Oh, I can't remember his name. But when Jon's friend and Tormund and Beric and them all came into contact with each other, and Jon's friend said, "Stay back, he has blue eyes." And Tormund was like, "I've always had blue eyes." That was hilarious. And of course, Euron was hilarious as usual. He's always fucking funny. The scene between Sam and Dany was very heartbreaking. And I kind of saw this coming a mile away. When Sam cured Jorah back in the previous episode. And then Sam ended up at Winterfell. And then we found out Dany was also going to be going north to Winterfell. I had a feeling that they were going to have some type of meeting, and that it was going to come out that Dany did these things to Sam's family. And I knew it was going to be an awkward meeting once Dany realized that she killed the father and brother of the man who saved Jorah. She's got to be feeling some type of way about that. Seeing Sam break down like that, like he was upset about his father, but when he found out his brother was also killed, it completely destroyed him. We all know that he had a difficult relationship with his father, but it seemed like his brother was a pretty decent human being, and he loved his brother. And just the transition from, okay, all right, well, my dad's dead, okay, I can accept that, but when she told him about his brother, he just got completely distraught. That was really, really hard to watch. There were also some scary moments in this episode, especially with Lord Umber coming back. Oh my God. That was fucking terrifying when he opened his eyes in the background and then he started screaming. Poor Lord Umber. That was sad. And scary as shit. And exactly what message is the Night King trying to send with those symbols? We've seen symbols throughout the entire series, and we've seen that particular symbol in the snow also done with dead bodies before. So I don't know what that symbol means. I don't know if they explained that a little bit and I just don't remember, or I missed it. But he's sending some type of message with that symbol. Unless that's just like his mark. You know how everybody has their, I don't know what it's called. Like, you know, Winterfell, the Starks have their wolves and the Lannisters have their lion, and Dany has her dragons, and maybe this is the Night King symbol. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm sure we're going to find that out soon. And I also thought that Sansa and Lady Mormont are completely right this time about Jon. Because yes, Jon did gain an alliance with Dany by giving up his crown and, you know, bending the knee to her as queen. But doing so might have lost him other allies that he's also going to need. So like House Glover said, you know, they don't want no part of it. They named him King in the North. And all these titles, Jon doesn't think that it really matters, but it does matter in the long run, because they don't know Dany from a can of paint. They know about the history of her family and how they burned people, how her father burned people alive, and they know about the history of her family, and they do not trust her. They trust him. He's the one who was able to rally all these men together and all these houses together, and they trust him. They're fighting for him. He needs that title. We don't know what she's going to come in and change. You know what I mean? And we don't know where her loyalties lie. So it is a big deal. I know we have this threat with the dead, but I think that Sansa and Lyanna are correct, and that Jon should have spoken with Sansa and the other commanders of their houses before making such a huge decision to just bend the knee to Daenerys. At this point, I've always thought that Sansa, she's really coming to her own, and she is a great leader, and she makes wise decisions. I have criticized her in the past for questioning Jon's motives and decisions in front of other people, but I do think that it's okay to question his decisions and his motives. And at this point, I think she is 100% correct to question his motives. Are you doing this for love, or are you doing this to help the North? And also, she's right about there not being enough food. Like we've seen in one of season 7's episodes about how she was trying to gather food and conserve food and ration food. We saw her making these decisions while John was away about the whole food situation, because if we have all these men that's going to fight for us, we need to be able to feed them. And now here comes Dany with all of these soldiers, the Dothraki, the Unsullied, and 2 big-ass dragons. How the hell are we supposed to feed all of them? They didn't think this through. Because did Dany not stop and find a way to gather food in the south before coming north? Like, they should have thought about all those things. Like, they brought dragon glass, but they didn't bring any food back with them. So I think that's going to be a real huge issue. And there's also going to be some beef between Sansa and Dany. There's going to be some friction there. And at the end of the day, where is Jon's loyalties going to lie? He loves his sisters. He knows now that they aren't his sisters, but they're still his family, and they were raised as brother and sisters. So he loves them, and he loves Dany, but where will his loyalties lie at the end of the day? Whose side is he going to take? And already I can see that Dany might become a little unhinged, because she was saying something and insinuating something that I'm afraid of. If she doesn't respect me about Sansa, and it's like, if she doesn't respect you, then what? What exactly are you insinuating here? Because I hope you're not thinking about hurting Jon's sister in some way or fashion, because I don't know if Jon is going to take that. This is going to be tough, because it's going to be interesting to see where his loyalties are going to lie. Who is he going to side with? Sansa and the people of the North, or Dany? I also think that there will be some friction between Jon and Dany. So I don't think this is going to be a long-lasting relationship, love affair, or whatever you want to call it. I think there's definitely going to be some friction, especially now that he knows that he is a Targaryen and the true king of the 7 kingdoms. And is he going to tell Dany what he's discovered? Is he going to tell her that, I'm a Targaryen and we're related and you're really my aunt? Or is he just going to be in denial about it, or just try to keep it a secret? Also, Cersei wanting Bronn to kill Jaime and Tyrion, did not see that coming. Will Bronn follow through with that? I don't know, because he's been really good friends with both Jaime and Tyrion, but we also know that Bronn is for himself as well. So it's hard to tell with him. I don't know if he will attempt to do that or not. I like to think not, but I don't know. He goes where the gold is. Also, is Cersei really fucking pregnant? We see her after her little, thing with Euron. We see her with a cup in her hand. I can't remember if I actually saw her take a drink, though. But she did look upset when he said, I'm going to put a prince in your belly, or a baby in your belly. She looked upset after he said those. So was she pregnant and lost the baby already, and we just didn't see that? Or is there something else going on? Is she really pregnant? Is she going to try and pass that baby off as Euron's? What's going on? I'm just really worried about Jon losing other alliances by taking Dany on, because that's the biggest part. We need all the people that we can get right now to help fight this common enemy, which is the dead and the Night King. And if we start beefing with each other and we have all this friction now and we lose all these alliances, what are we going to do? Like, it's gonna be a lot of issues this season, and I just don't even know how they're going to wrap it up. In what we got, 7, 8 episodes maybe? How are they gonna wrap all of this up in just a few episodes? I don't know, but it seems like they aren't wasting any time. Jaime has arrived at Winterfell. I'm interested to see what the dialogue between him and Bran is going to be, and I'm interested to see how they're going to take the news about Cersei not sending her troops like she said she was. Sansa already thinks that she's not going to follow through with her words, because she knows Cersei very well. And what she said to Tyrion is, I used to think that you were so smart. How could you be so fucking stupid to believe anything that fucking Cersei says? She's already expecting the betrayal from Cersei, and she's absolutely fucking correct. At this point, I wouldn't mind seeing Sansa rule in the North. She has proven to be a very strong leader. All right, those are my thoughts and opinions about this first episode. I'm going to include some highlights. I didn't really react to the episode because I've been having a lot of technical difficulties with the phone. Like, I record off my phone, so I've been having technical difficulties with my phone. My phone has been acting up, and I've been having technical difficulties editing, so it's taking me longer to get videos out, both book and TV show and movie videos out, because of the issues I've been having with my phone and with my computer and my editing program on the computer. So I'm trying to rectify that as soon as possible. So I'm just going to include some highlights of me reacting to the show at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you know every time I post a video. And I look forward to seeing the next episode and discussing it with you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye. Bitch!
I promise you.
Game of Thrones is on!
I would.
Nobody fucking bother me. Game of Thrones is on. Listen to me.
And there lies the catch.
I'm so fucking anxious right now. Please put on my show and get rid of all this shit. Let's go. Bitch. When I say I'm nervous. Holy shit. Game of Thrones is on.
People we love at each other's hands.
This isn't about noble houses. This is about the living and the dead.
And I intend to stay amongst the living.
I offer you a choice. Bend the knee and join me.
This is different. The intro. Bitch! Game of Thrones is on! Yes! Oh, God. I can't contain myself. I'm so, excited. They're back. They're back. Jon and Dany are coming. Jon and Dany are coming. Wow. Oh my God. Look it. Yes! God damn it! Her jacket is nice as hell. Like, they need to manufacture that shit and put it in stores. I love her jacket. You don't see her. She loves her Jon so much. And look at all the reunions. I mean, they haven't seen each other yet, but she's just like, oh my God. John. She hasn't seen him in years. She hasn't seen the mountain in a long time. She hasn't seen Gendry. Wow.
You should.
All the reunions.
Look at you. You're a man. Almost.
He's different.
Daenerys of House Targaryen.
Ooh, they woo.
My sister.
Wow.
Mrs. Stark, the Lady of Winterfell.
Daggers.
Thank you for inviting us into your home, Lady Stark. The North is as beautiful as your brother claimed. As are you.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
We don't have time for all this. The Night King has your dragon. He's one of them now. The wall has fallen. The dead march south.
Shit.
You used to be taller.
How did you sneak up on me?
How did you survive a knife through the heart?
I didn't.
Oh. Don't make me cry first episode.
You still have it.
Needle.
Have you ever used it?
Oh yeah.
Once or twice. Valyrian steel.
Jealous?
Too heavy for me.
Hurry up. He's on his way back. Get her weapon. Oh! He deserved that. Let's go. We don't have time for this. Is John about to ride that fucking dragon? Stop buffering! Holy shit! He's riding the fucking dragon. Oh my god! Hold on, John! You better hold on. Oh my god. Wow. That is fucking amazing. Hold on for dear life. I would have pissed myself. Oh, you guys are so cute. Riding your dragons together.
You've completely ruined horses for me.
What? What is it?
We could stay 1,000 years. No one would find us.
We'd be pretty old. care for a southern girl.
So keep the queen warm.
Oh, God, this is awkward. Yeah, not in front of the babies. Not in front of your children.
Don't be afraid.
They are thick and cute together, but this is just so crazy. What do you see? Why is he looking at him like that?
Lord Glover wishes us good fortune, but he's staying in Deepwood Motte with his men.
He's gonna lose alliances because you
House
teamed,
Glover will stand behind House Stark as we have for 1,000
you teamed up with Danny. You're gonna lose alliances.
Isn't that what he said?
You gained one,
No, he said.
and now you're gonna lose others.
The king in the north.
They don't trust
I
her.
told you we needed allies.
You didn't tell me you were going to abandon your crown.
I never wanted a crown. Daenerys. She executed my father and brother. They were prisoners. She didn't tell you. I'm so sorry.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Anthony, I'm not king in the north anymore.
I'm not talking about the king in the north, I'm talking about the king of the bloody seven kingdoms.
Yes, tell him. Tell him.
Bran and I worked it out. I had a High Septon's diary. Bran had whatever Bran has. What are you talking about? Your mother was Lyanna Stark. And your father, your real father,
Tell him.
was Rhaegar Targaryen.
Danny is your
You've never
aunt.
been a bastard. You are Aegon Targaryen, true heir to the Iron Throne.
Yes!
I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to take.
That's who you are. It's true.
My father was the most honorable man I ever met. You see, he lied to me all my life. Your father, Ned Stark, he promised your mother he'd always protect you. And he did. Robert would have murdered you if he knew.
Mm-hmm.
You're the true king.
It's true.
Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name, protector of the realm, all of it.
Yes, John. Now, what are you gonna do?
Daenerys is so quick, she shouldn't be.
You're the heir.
It's treason. It's the truth. You gave up your crown to save your people. Would she do the same?
Put your feelings to the side. Because the North needs you. Yeah, you pushed him out the window. Awkward. Don't tell me that's the end! Ah!
When I was a child, my brother would tell me a bedtime story about the man who murdered our father.
Relax.
All the things we would do to that man.
Relax, Danny. Chill out.
You never should have trusted Cersei. You never should have either.
Woo!
I've got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
How long do we have? Before the sun comes up tomorrow.
Wow. There's going to be some beef between Sansa and Danny. And I don't know because
majesty of Danny's arrival. It just felt like the natural place to start the
he
season.
loves
The
Danny,
arrival
but he
was
loves
was
his
way to
fucking
capture
family.
What was at stake for Danny and for
Where
Jon.
will his
Looking
loyalties
back
lie?
to the very beginning and